Welcome to Las Vegas Money Resource with Travis Scribner, Managing Partner of Westpac Wealth Partners. Travis Scribner is a registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, 7 East Hanover Square, New York, 10004, and Westpac Wealth Partners, 1707 Village Center Circle, Suite 100, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89134. This show is for informational purposes only. Individual risks and investment objectives must be reviewed prior to making any recommendations. And now your host, Travis Scribner.
And welcome to another edition of Las Vegas Money Resource. Your host, Travis Scribner, managing partner with Westpac Wealth Partners. I am joined in the studio today by Chekesha Van Putten, the founder and CEO of Castango. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did, Travis.
Nailed it. Chekesha, tell me a little bit about Castango.
Sure.
And yourself.
And myself.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm more interested in you than the company, so...
All right. Well, my name is, like you said, Chekesha Van Putten. I am originally from Los Angeles, California. I moved to Las Vegas about 7 years ago and launched my company, Castango.com.
Why the move to Vegas?
So, originally being from Los Angeles, I started my career in the entertainment industry. I am a professional spokesmodel, actress, and dancer with over 20 years of experience in the industry. So you might have seen me in a few
started when
movies.
you were 2.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I started when I was really young. My parents saw that I had this passion to be in front of the camera. Growing up right in Los Angeles, I had a lot of access to the entertainment industry. So I got an agent at a very young age and started doing movies and commercials and TV. I was in Austin Powers, the movie, and American Beauty.
Oh, wow.
Won an Academy Award, which was pretty cool.
That's really cool.
And a variety of other, lots of commercials. I've done, Pepsi campaigns, Taco Bell.
And we've got you here on radio as opposed to on TV. So, sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, no, I've been in front of the camera quite a bit, but yeah.
And then the move to Vegas. So why?
Yeah, so I moved to Vegas about 7 years ago. My mom has been here for almost 20 years. She works in the real estate industry. And I saw a lot of opportunity in Las Vegas. I thought it was a really great city. Growing up in Los Angeles, I had a desire to have an experience outside of La La Land. So Las Vegas seemed like just such a natural move and progression. It's still really close. I can go back and forth to Los Angeles and still have a life there, but so.
I love the fact that, for those listening at home before we started, the Knights, the Golden Knights recently played the Kings. We had the conversation that you were rooting for the Knights over the Kings. So for any of your people back in LA listening, you may get into some trouble, but
yes,
I love that you've adopted the city as your own. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people when they do get here. They figure out that Las Vegas has so much more to offer than just the Strip.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And I pride myself on having found a community in Las Vegas that is outside of the Strip. Aside from, being the founder of a tech startup in Las Vegas, which is not at all in the gaming or casino industry. I'm also very involved in the yoga community, and I'm really into health and wellness. So there definitely is life outside of the bright lights of the Las Vegas Strip.
We sound like the co-chairs of the Visitors and Convention Authority right now, trying to persuade people to come to Vegas. I'm such a homer for the town. You mentioned something that I think always resonates with me when I think of the city of Las Vegas is opportunity. There is so much opportunity within this city. And that's something that you realized when you moved here and started Castango. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So like I said, my background was in the entertainment industry. And although I had achieved some success in my business, I was always frustrated that I had to rely solely on a talent agent to be able to find jobs. I wanted to kind of have control of my career and be able to find work without depending on somebody else. So at the time, I was like, how can I create more opportunity? I toyed with the idea of maybe producing my own projects. I got my degree in communications from Howard University and radio, TV, and film. I thought maybe I would produce, but technology was just emerging. And, I was really fascinated with the opportunities that were, doors that were opening up in the tech industry. So I got this idea to start a tech business. When I moved to Las Vegas,
I mean, as a communications major, of course, why not start a tech company?
Why not start a tech company, right? And all these companies were popping up. I just at the time didn't have really an idea of what I wanted to do. But when I moved to Las Vegas and saw the trade show and event industry and what a huge industry it was, and that these trade shows needed talent for their booths and exhibits, I was like, wait a second, this is a really great niche and industry. So I started my business by launching a company called Trade Show Casting back in 2015. And that was essentially like a job board for models and talent to be able to find job opportunities online. And that kind of metamorphosized into Castango.com because at the time, like the on-demand economy was really growing. And you have apps like Uber and Lyft and, different other sites like care.com and Upwork that were really being able to like match freelance talent with jobs. And that's what really inspired me to build Castango.
So you've got to talk to me a little bit more about, so what does Castango actually do?
So Castango is an on-demand marketplace for models and talent. So we've pretty much streamlined the casting process, saving time and money by eliminating the middleman. So now companies can search, hire, and actually pay talent online without needing to consult or hire a third party.
Wow.
Everything happens digitally online.
So you're essentially just opening up this app, you're scrolling through the people that you want. I'm guessing they have like their headshots and bios and all these different things. And
headshots, bios, their profile, a video reel, all their statistics and industry expertise, because a lot of times companies want to hire people that have a background in an industry that they're working on. Say it's like, health and wellness, or it could be a tech business and they want somebody that has, some tech savvy. So yeah, it's completely digitized, no longer needing to, get on the phone and have a conversation or do paperwork back and forth. It's all very digital.
Is there somebody else in this space right now, or is it just you? It seems like I've never heard of anything like it.
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, there are definitely people out there that are doing similar, have similar businesses and platforms. But I like to think that, we're unique and we focus on a very specific niche and, especially here in Las Vegas.
There's so much more inside of that. We'll be back with Chekesha Van Putten, the founder and CEO of Castango, after these messages on Las Vegas Money Resource. Welcome back to Las Vegas Money Resource. Your host, Travis Scribner, managing partner with Westpac Wealth Partners here in the fabulous city of Las Vegas. I am joined by Chekesha Van Putten, the founder and CEO of Castango. I am enthralled with this company idea. I think one of the beautiful things about my job is, my day-to-day job working in finance, I interact with different, people from different business owners, different professions, and all these different things. I feel like my job is very vanilla. Everyone's heard of somebody, a financial advisor or someone who works in wealth management. We're a dime a dozen. But I'm always really interested in the people that I work with and the ideas that they have for their businesses because they're so unique and so different. And I don't have a creative bone in my body when it comes to certain things like that. So what you've done with Castango is just, I think the word that's used so much in technology, almost overused, is disruption, right? You're disrupting the industry, whether it's Uber, whether it's... I wasn't feeling well on Sunday, didn't have to leave my house. I Amazon Prime now a bunch of stuff. I Postmates some stuff, good to go. Didn't need to leave the confines of the Fortress of Solitude. It's how I refer to my home. You've done the same thing now with Castango, eliminating that middleman, where now people searching for talent in any of these different industries can do it whenever they want at their own convenience.
Right.
Like, where do the ideas come from for this? How did you get started doing it? How's the company grown? Because there's so much more inside of that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's so true. And like, you were saying, Travis, like now everything is about on demand. The future, we call it the future of work, the way in which you find people and, access even information, what you view, what you eat. So, we just kind of decided to venture into the talent space, a space where people, are looking for live individuals to help promote their brand, to help showcase, something that they're doing. So, I was just really inspired by, what was happening. And it hasn't been an easy road. Starting any kind of a venture definitely has its highs and lows. And, I started in this industry knowing very little about technology in terms of, how it actually functions and works. I didn't get my degree in, computer science. I'm not a coder. So I had to do a lot of, learning very quickly. And, I think that's probably one of the most exciting parts about being a founder of a company and the CEO is, you're learning really fast and you're growing every day. And for me, being like a talent, I knew that inside and out. I knew how to perform. I had trained for so many years, but this was something really new and allowed me to utilize other aspects of myself that, have been really, really incredible. So
what were some of those challenges?
Yeah. So, when you start, it's funny, when I started my company, people think, oh, you're going to build a platform and just people will come. I think that's probably one of the, biggest mistakes people can make is, they think they can build something and people will just come. Yet, getting people to really try your product or service is half the battle. Building your product, of course, takes a lot of work and time and effort, but you really want to know that you have a market out there that's very interested in what it is that you have to offer. And you need to know how to get to your market, how to access your market. I was fortunate because, like I said, my background is in this industry. So I knew how to, get the talent to come to the platform because I knew what they were looking for and what they needed. However, getting the companies to the platform took a lot more work, and required me, really having to build up my marketing and sales team and all of that. So in that regard, it definitely, took some education on my part to really learn the different digital strategies out there, digital marketing strategies, business development strategies, and so forth to really get my company to where I wanted it to be.
And that's it. I look at, the growth path of my firm here in town or of any other company. It is so incredibly difficult and you're faced with so many challenges, but I think it's the perseverance to keep fighting through all of the adversity and all of the challenges that you're inevitably going to face. Because whenever I'm talking to, younger clients of mine who are thinking about starting their business, what I inevitably tell them is no matter how hard you think it's going to be or how much money you think it's going to take, it's going to be harder and it's going to take more money.
Oh, usually. Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to be really sharp and really and nimble. You have to be willing to pivot when something you find that something's not working. And, and that's they say fail fast. And, and that's the biggest lesson that I could learn. And I can say that I think the reason I've been able to get to where I am is that I allowed myself to fail fast and pivot, fail fast and pivot to the point that I got exactly, got to where we needed to be to have a product that was really serving our users and, doing well.
No, that's perfectly said. And I think, I love that you and I will be fast friends when you speak about failing fast. I think oftentimes what happens to people when they're starting a company, you've got to ask yourself this very important question. Are you more in love with the idea of being successful or are you more in love with the specific idea that you've had? Because I've seen people go down in flames because they're so married to this one idea and they won't pivot and they won't let go. And this is it. This is what I'm going to do come hell or high water. And they're mistaking that your end game wasn't that idea. Your end game was to build a successful business, right? Yeah. That's the end game. So you've got to be able to let things go and fail fast, like you said, and be able to move on to something that can be more successful as opposed to you don't necessarily have to go down with the ship, right? You can take the lifeboat to a bigger and better ship.
Exactly. And that's really, you look at some of the most successful people, in the world, you hear stories of Walt Disney and, even Steve Jobs and people like that. And, the failures that they had prior to them succeeding to get to these, amazing, multi-million-dollar, companies. So
well, it's the evolution of those things, right, as well, right? A perfect example, you think of Jeff Bezos with Amazon, it's an online book reseller, and now it's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Oh, my gosh. Everything.
It's everything, right? So it's not being married to just who it is when you start, but it's, you mentioned, you had the other company when you were casting for the trade shows, but it was the evolution of that to where you are now. You had the vision to see much farther down the road.
Right.
This is more than just this.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of business owners get locked up.
In the idea. Yeah, you have to remain open. And like I said, be willing to pivot when you need to pivot. And, just really be open to new ideas because things are changing every day. I mean, technology, I just even looked to when I started my business until now and how much the tech industry has changed. I mean, when I was starting, Uber was just kind of becoming popular and people are like, oh, I take Uber. Now it's like everybody's Ubering now.
I'm team Lyft.
Yeah, or team Lyft, whatever. I'm not biased here in either one, but it's just it's unbelievable how quickly things are changing.
It's a constantly changing environment. We'll be back with Chekesha Van Putten, the founder and CEO of Castango, after these messages on Las Vegas Money Resource. Welcome back to Las Vegas Money Resource. Your host, Travis Scribner, managing partner with Westpac Wealth Partners. Find all of the old episodes on our website, LasVegasMoneyResource.com. See clips of today's show on our Facebook page, Las Vegas Money Resource, or find us on iTunes. All your old shows there. I'm joined today by Chekesha Van Putten, the founder and CEO of Castango. Chekesha, you're coming for my gig, it sounds like. Not my day-to-day gig of wealth management, but my part-time gig of hosting a radio show. You've got some big things in the works, it sounds like.
I do. Well, Travis, I cannot take your place because you are an excellent host.
Yes.
And
all my hopes, all my dreams.
But yes, I am actually working on a podcast. We have that in the works right now, called Casting a Dream. And also, I'm working on a book right now, and it's really, focused on helping talent really, really find a pathway to realizing their dreams. For myself, like I said, it's been a long journey of where I started to where I am now, growing up in Hawaii and, having, dreams of being in front of the camera and realizing that, and then actually starting a company to help other people find work and realize their dreams. It's been like a long journey. And, I've had a lot of really amazing experiences. I've traveled all over the world. I've done quite a bit, and I really feel like it's time to pay it forward and to help other aspiring artists learn about how to really be successful in the industry. And I want to do that through, not just myself, but by interviewing other talent out there who have achieved success.
Yeah, it's such a tough business, right? When you think of the entertainment industry, and I just think of like just broken dreams of so many people. That you're someone that's achieved that. You've established and you've had success in that industry.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what you want to gear the podcast around, as far as, sharing your stories or other people who have had success on the show and I think, how they've done it.
Yeah, I think now is such a great time because, with podcasts and other mediums, it's like a great way to gain information, to be able to like have a shot, right? Like there was a time where, especially in the entertainment industry, there's no real pathway to success. It's not like you can go to school, get your degree. It's like, you want to become a doctor. It's like you go to college, you go to med school, you do your residency, your internship, whatever, and you become a doctor.
I'm a doctor, yeah.
Yeah. With entertainment, it's very different. You can train your whole life, and some people don't train at all. They're like, hey, somebody told me I should be an actor, and I'm
here I am. What's up?
Yeah. For me, like, I studied, I trained, I did a lot to get to where I was, but I feel as though, what's lacking is just really a pathway, really guidance. And, I've done some private coaching with some people and really watched just how they've been able to succeed just by having somebody there to guide them through the steps, you can't do it for them, but you can definitely give them some insight about how to have a leg up, how to really, prepare yourself to be successful.
And that was the interesting question for me there was, do you think that's something that can be replicated, right? I think, the path to success in entertainment does seem to be, it's not this paint by numbers of I'm going to do A, then I'm going to do B.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah.
I'm Will Smith. I don't
know. Talent has a lot to do with it. And at the end of the day, it will boil down to talent. But for your talent even to be recognized and seen is really the challenge, and getting in front of, the right people and being prepared for when your opportunity comes. I think that's, where a lot of people miss the boat. Oftentimes they, move to Los Angeles and it's like, oh, I want to make it in the business, but they're not even able to support themselves once they live there to be able to go on auditions and do what's required. But furthermore, just I think really, having the confidence and strength within to be able to weather the storms and weather the rejection and even weather the success. Because, with success comes a lot of stuff too.
Mo money, mo problems. Biggie said it best.
Yeah. I think, I really want to help inspire people to continue to not give up on their dreams and to go after them with confidence. And
I love the idea of what you're talking about with the podcast that you're going to start of, bringing. Everyone has their own story, right? Everyone's got their own story and everyone's got their own baggage.
Right.
And the way that you're going to be bringing others on, right? Maybe someone doesn't necessarily resonate with your story of, how you came to be successful in this industry, but maybe they will with someone else's.
Right.
And the fact that you're able to bring these different people on from all these different walks of life and talk to them about their story and their path and their journey to success is, there's always something inside someone's story that may resonate with someone else.
Absolutely.
So as opposed to it just being your voice, you're giving voice to so many others who may not necessarily be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's the truth. I mean, we oftentimes see the end result. You see these people who've made it, but you don't really know the journey that they've been through, and a lot of the times it's, it's not all glitz and glam,
Very rarely is it.
Right.
Very, very rarely is it. Everyone's story is, I talk to the guys who work in my office and, I think they have trouble sometimes seeing what I was before. And I always tell them, you just see this version of Travis. It wasn't that long ago that I was in a cubicle. It wasn't that long ago that I was exactly where you are. Everyone has this struggle and this fight for success. At very, very few people does it come that easily to.
Yeah, know what really is happening behind the scenes and, what it takes. But it's possible, I think that's the big thing is that, it's not where you start, but where you finish. And as long as you just, stay focused on, what your goal is and you have the right tools and you have a good attitude, anything is possible.
Well, yeah, and you've got to stay the course. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's credited to Jefferson. And, I think about it a lot in this business. I think it probably relates a lot into the entertainment business or anything that's difficult. It's, I choose freedom over peaceful slavery. And it always stuck with me. The starting your own business, whether it's Castango or it's Westpac Wealth Partners or whatever it may be, that's the dangerous freedom.
Yeah.
Right? You've got the freedom, but it is hard, and you're going to fight like hell to get to wherever it is that you want to be. Versus the alternative, which is the peaceful slavery of giving up on your dreams and punching someone else's clock or whatever else it may be. But persistence, I think, is the common trait that you'll see amongst a lot of the people who are successful, irrespective of the career path they chose, whether it's the doctor or whether it's the entertainer or whether it's the financial advisor.
And I'm a trailblazer to some degree in my family. My dad was a doctor and my mom, also a business, entrepreneur, and now she's in real estate. And, I just had this desire to perform, this creative, artistic side of myself. Yet I stayed true to that, and even though there was, like I said, no pathway, I did go to college and, got my degree and so forth, but, I really had to figure out a course for myself that was going to make sense and allow me to really, realize my dreams and be successful at the same time.
You broke out the machete and made your own path. I'll be back with Chekesha Van Putten, the founder and CEO of Castango, after these messages on Las Vegas Money Resource. Welcome back to Las Vegas Money Resource. Your host, Travis Scribner, joined in the studio by Chekesha Van Putten, the founder and CEO of Castango. Castango, my Hollywood dreams are long gone. I think I'm past that phase of my life.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. I think it's too late.
And you don't have to be in Hollywood anymore. You can be in Las Vegas. You can be in Kentucky. You can be in Florida.
Thank you. I think my ship has sailed. But for those that it hasn't sailed on, or those who have not given up on those Hollywood dreams or those Kentucky dreams or those Vegas dreams, since they could now do it anywhere, let's talk a bit more about Castango, just the actual utilization of it from both a business standpoint of people, those that are looking for talent and those that are looking to maybe get their name out there, get their brand out there.
Right. So, from a talent perspective, it's very easy to get started with Castango. You just, simply sign up and then you build a profile. So, we usually, recommend that you have professional photographs. A video reel would be fantastic.
I'm out. Dang. Out.
No headshot. Yeah. And then a really wonderful biography about, who you are and your background. And, and that's pretty much it. Once you have your profile set up, it's a multimedia profile. You can share it with people. And then you just apply for jobs. As jobs become available in your area, super simple. You just apply for a job and it'll automatically submit your professional profile to the client that's hiring. And then, if you're selected for the job, then, they'll book you right online. And, what's wonderful about our system is that as a talent, once you've booked a job, you get paid direct. Once the job is completed, you don't have to wait 30, 60, 90 days to get a paycheck in the mail. It's direct deposit and you can get it, within 1 week. So it's a really great, on-demand payment situation.
Well, that's something, obviously it's not something I know anything about, but it sounds like that was an issue inside the business, right? If you're waiting 30, 60, 90 days to get paid for your work.
Yeah, that was the major issue that we were solving, So, slow payments was the big problem. So we've streamlined that and made it really efficient.
So that in of itself, the talent has got to be over the moon about it, especially starting out, because it's not like you're balling out when you first start in this business, you need your money.
We're so excited about that. And that was really, like I said, I was passionate about this because I have a background in the industry and I just watched the way it was playing out and it made no sense. Talent, they work hard, they get out there, they're representing a company or doing a commercial or print campaign. They don't want to have to wait 90 days to get a paycheck in the mail. So
yeah, that's tough.
I was like, there's got to be a way to streamline this. So
there wasn't, and then you fixed it.
We fixed it. Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. And then from the company's perspective, obviously our platform provides talent for just about anything you could think of, any short-term gig-based jobs. So examples of that would be a trade show or live event, somebody that needs, a spokesmodel or brand ambassador for a trade show or some kind of a promotional event. It could be a commercial campaign, a print campaign, a voiceover. Like, we're talking to microphones now. Oftentimes companies will need somebody to do voiceover work for something that they're doing in-house.
Boom, there we go. I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
You're hired.
I'm in.
You're hired.
Downloading Castango as soon as we leave here.
Exactly. So anyway, so a company, it's very simple for them. They also will build a profile and then they just post a job. And it's completely free. So, let's say a trade show exhibitor has a trade show coming up, regardless of where it is nationwide, they can find talent within their area. Say somebody's coming from the East Coast to Las Vegas to a trade show. They would just post a job and, in their job description, write, specifically what they're looking for. And then at that point, then they can either search for the talent or talent will apply to them. And then they hire talent online. And it's a very simple, streamlined process. No paperwork for them. They set the rate, which is very different. A traditional talent agency, the talent agent would set the rate so they can work within their budget. So if they have an allotted budget for their event, they can be very specific about what they're looking for. And then, find somebody that's right for their brand. I think that's like probably the most important thing is that in this day and age, we really need a face of a company. People want to see real life people doing real life things with all of the blogging and YouTubing and, Facebook living that's going on. We want real people doing real things. So with companies now, oftentimes people that are, founders of companies or work within the company, they're not comfortable in front of the camera. So, you can hire somebody to speak on behalf of your company, represent your company, and even appear, in print campaigns and commercials and so forth. So, and Castango makes it really easy to be able to find that talent on demand.
I've got a slight question. The finance guy in me
Yes.
was like jumping out of my skin. You mentioned that they can post it for free, the person posting the job.
Yeah.
Where's the revenue model for Castango?
Yeah, so we're just like Uber and all the other on-demand marketplaces. We're we take a service fee for all the transactions that happen through our platform.
Okay, so both the talent and the business can both upload for free.
Yes.
And then when you connect them together,
yes,
you're going to...
When the transaction happens, we take a small percentage from that.
If it's like a magic convention or the big trade shows, you have like the surge pricing where you take a bit more.
We haven't implemented surge.
There you go.
But hey, that's a good idea.
There you go.
Add that to your note. To future development.
Yeah,
I
right.
Like
so if you've got like a big, really on-demand, like everyone wants to be a part of it, there's going to be some surge pricing.
There's going to be some surge.
There's going to be some surge pricing.
Yeah.
You can just kick a couple bucks back to me for that.
There you go.
If people want to learn more about Castango, what should they do?
Yeah,
because there's a ton more. I don't feel like we did this even close to justice. There's so much more inside of this.
Well, that's what's the beauty of online. You can always go online and get more information. So it's just simple. You just go to Castango.com. Sign up. It's a very simple, takes 5 minutes or less. Sign up, and then boom, you're in the system, and you can either post a job or apply for jobs.
So Castango, Castango.com. Yes. Castango.com. So is it only online, app-based as well, or talk to me there?
Yeah, we're strictly online right now. Future app on the way. But, right now, most of these types of transactions happen via web versus mobile. But
I picture down the road the the person looking for talent almost like they're on Instagram or Bumble or something, just swiping through pictures.
Right, swipe left,
swiping left
right.
and swiping right for pictures. Chekesha Van Putten of Castango, Castango.com, Castango.com. Learn more about it if you're talent. If you're a business that's looking to book talent, it sounds like you have solved the problem for a host of people out there. So hats off to you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you, Travis. I really appreciate you having me on the show, and it's been a wonderful experience.
We will definitely have you back. Las Vegas Money Resource. We'll see you next week. Be good to one another.